Hey, journal. Okay. Um, Today is day 2 of my healing journey, my mustard seed of faith. Um, I'm having these thoughts and I need to get them out so I can hear them. So I'm processing the phone call, and right now I'm in this state of he called me to tell me, um, like, he called me to get me to tell the girl that there was nothing going on between us. I think that he did that because she wasn't believing him. Um, I don't know. I guess when I think about it, then I'm like, okay, but what does it matter about why she believes him or not? And I'm like, he must care about her, you know. Um, and then there's a part of me that's like, then there's a part of me that is like, what if he's playing nice? What if he has to play nice because of this charge that she's holding over his head? But that sounds kind of crazy. So, I mean, he has said either way. Then another thought is, even if he has to like play nice, or not play nice, but even if he is, calling me to have me tell her nothing's going on between us, why would he have gone about it that way? Like, our last conversation, and our last conversation he ghosted me. He ghosted me. But before that, um, the energy that was going on was as if he was apologetic and that things weren't going to be the same as they were before. So he was telling me that he was healing, and I knew his situation. I knew what he was going through, with all the different places he had to go to and go through because of this girl. But he also was on a mental journey too. So he asked for time to heal. He asked for time to get like himself together. And I trusted that, I trusted that. So I just don't know how we went from that to you calling me and just, I don't know, it's like he just threw everything in my face all at once. Like, I would say he didn't even ask how I was doing, but he had the fucking gall to ask how I was doing first. And then he said something, and then I asked him a question. Then he said something else that sounded like he gave up hope. The baby looks like me. The baby does not look like you. It is a baby. It's hard to tell, especially when you don't know what the other people that she was sleeping with looks like. The fact that she lied, like she was pregnant when she met this man, but he doesn't know that because, I don't know, to me it seems like because he doesn't want to. It feels like he wants to be trapped, but that's neither here nor there. The phone call is, it's like, why did he call me and say it like that? He told me that, like, he'd been ignoring my text messages. And in all honesty, I sent text messages out, not even expecting a response because I had to be mentally, I didn't have to be, I guess, but I told myself I needed to be mentally strong in order to, like, go through what I thought was the process of allowing him to heal. And I thought that with the prayers that I was sending up and the questions that I was, or the answers I was receiving back from my conversations or my talks with God, that he was doing the work, that he was healing. Then I thought it got confirmed again when I was told by a mutual friend that they had seen him and that he was looking just good. So I was under the impression that he was healing and doing those things. And I told myself I needed to be patient. I needed to be mentally strong, you know. Also trying to tap into my feminine, you know. There's some patience there. Like, not too much, like, don't do too much, but enough for grace. And I'm getting a phone call. Hold on. Hello. Hey. You just what? Is he talking about the dancing video? Okay, and what? Okay, so obviously that was your one phone call today. That's completely fine. Are you feeling okay? You sure? Okay, why'd you call me and tell me? Okay. Okay, that's yeah, that's one way to think of it, yeah. Um, I don't think that the shirt is a problem because the rest of your body is covered. The only thing out is your shoulders. And I think that it's fine. So, okay. Love you, bye. Okay, I might have to edit that out of there. Anyways, so then, like I said, it's a question of um, why call me knowing what we've talked about? And like, I'll be honest, I have felt our conversations like telepathically. And I feel a lack of confidence saying it now because on day 2 of trying to heal from the situation, I'm questioning things. Like I question my beliefs um, already, uh, but you do question them a little bit um, because faith is not materialized. Faith is always in in spirit and in quiet. So, I don't feel as confident saying that I felt him telepathically anymore, but I do understand that I can't take away the confirmations that I was given throughout this journey, um, that were so very, very loud. So I just don't understand how that conversation happened the way that it did. He said, he said that the text messages that I had sent him, like I said, I reached out a couple times, like a few times, over these past, it's been almost 3 months. And it's funny because last time he went 3 months without talking to me, he brought the same person back, um, but told me that it was supposed to be just somebody that he had slept with on, just we weren't exclusively dating. Well, kind of supposed to be, but he had blocked me. And so I guess we were in a 3-month debacle and he slept with somebody. Then this hoe attached herself by saying that she was pregnant with his child. And the thing is, he didn't know that she was already pregnant. She didn't know that somebody outside of her knew that she was pregnant. So when she tells him, I'm like, that's not true because she was already pregnant before she met you. Because the guy that she was pregnant by, his girlfriend, found out about it. And she was reaching out and all of that. And so if that be the case, then, but I also understand that if he was trying to play nice, not I understand, this was a thought because I don't understand. This was a thought that if he was trying to play nice, like, trying to, because we haven't talked in 3 months, so it's not like he's lying to her about us not messing around or that we're not talking or dating or whatever. But if he was trying to keep it copacetic for the case or the charge that he has up against him, which I don't know how long it takes, like for me, if you have a lawyer, then what are we playing nice for? It's unless you did something, but even if you did do something, you still have a lawyer. And if she was going to drop the charges, she would have dropped him by now. Or not, maybe she would probably hold it over his head to keep him trapped as long as she can, but he ain't doing shit about the baby. Shit, it looks like me. Come on. Her stepdaughter looks like her. And her stepdaughter is from a relationship before she got with the guy. So, and actually the stepdaughter was the first child by the first woman, and the first woman had another child after that first daughter. So your first child with that guy was 3 babies later, and you all look alike. That doesn't mean shit, but whatever. If he was trying to play nice, it would seem like asking for the DNA test that he agreed to get in front of her already would work out. It would work in making a separation somewhere, you know? But didn't seem like. Anyways, so my thing is, why did he call me and tell me like that? In the text messages that I sent, one of them said that if you're talking to somebody, you should tell me, like you should say something so I don't end up running into you somewhere, you know? And I sent that text message 2 weeks ago. So if you actually have been messing with this girl, because like, I don't know, it's like, why would he say it if he wasn't doing it, you know? And it's like saying things to piss me off, to get me all amped up, because he called me and she wasn't on the phone. And so he called me and he said that stuff. And I guess that further proves it, you know, proves that he wasn't lying. Because why would you call me? I mean, she wasn't on the phone, so it's not like you were saying the stuff to her to like make her happy. He said it to me, that they had been sleeping together and that they go places together, and that he messes with her 2 or 3 times a week, and he's sleeping with her and a bunch of other girls, and I don't know what else he said. Oh, and I asked, you know, when I talked about the child, well, I asked about the child, like whether he had got the DNA test, and he's like, no, the baby looks like me. And he said, I asked, did he see the baby? So I was like, so do you be spending time with the baby, or, you know, going over there? And he said, yeah, she comes over here once a week. And then said that he was always sleeping with the mom, or always going places with the mom. And I'm like, you know, that doesn't really make sense. Like, those two things don't really go together, because how could you be with the mom so much and not the newborn baby that's like not even 2 months? Like, you're telling me that when y'all go places, she's taking the baby to a sitter 2 or 3 times a week at 2 months old? I don't think so. Now, I'm not saying that she's like, you know, not everybody follows the rules of a child's health, you know, so I can't necessarily say that, yeah, but logically speaking, you know, that just doesn't make sense. The baby would be there. So, and when he was saying this stuff, he's like yelling this stuff. Like, it was almost like he was yelling every single, like, bad thought that I had since we've been separated. Like, yelling everything down in my face. Yes, I mess with her. We do this, we do that, we do this. I'm sleeping with all these other girls, and I'm doing this. And then I hung up on him. And then I called back because I was like, no, you know, we need to, if he's telling me something, then I need to hear it. And when I called back, he put me on three-way with the girl and was like, oh, she's on the phone. She's on the phone right now. She's crying. She's crying. Say something. Say something. And she doesn't say anything. Then he's like, I'm going to take a screenshot and send you a picture so that way you know she's on the phone since she won't speak. Then I didn't even tell you that he really called. That's what he did. I'm sorry. He called and he asked me if I wanted to have if I wanted to come over and have an orgy with him on camera so he could send it to this girl. So that way, send it to the girl because he can. Because he can. So already I'm turned off, because what the fuck are you talking about? Me and you, again, where we left off, I thought he was healing. Like, God, hello? You know, like, Am I the only one that would be questioning their faith right now? Like, who was I praying to? Because this is a joke. And I thought he was healing, and I don't know who our mutual friend saw, unless there's a doppelganger, because the one that's calling me somehow, I don't know, but send the other one my number, okay? Send that guy my number. But anyways, so do you want to come over and have a threesome? Because, or not threesome, an orgy. So I'm just gonna have a big ass orgy, and send her a video because I can. I show her if she wants to say that I'm sleeping with you, then I'll show her that I can, or then I might as well do it. Like I might as well do it. Blah 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 blah. So I don't know. It's like, it's almost like, okay, but why did I get brought into that? You know, like I might as well do it. Okay, who said you could? So why are you, like, why are you calling me with that? And then it's like, okay, but for real, why are you calling me with this? This is not where we left off. I asked you straight up when you first came back, are you on the same stuff? Like, are you basically still dealing with these people? We had a good, like, hours long talk. He gave me hours to ask him everything about all these situations, didn't get an attitude, didn't get frustrated, and just explained all of the situation that he was in, and what ended up happening, just everything. And then you turn around and you call me, let's just have a big ass orgy because I can. So that made me feel like, I don't know, that just made me feel as if I don't know, right now devastated is a good word, but that wasn't the word that I wanted to discuss. I don't know. I felt like degraded, I guess. I guess one of my thoughts was, I can't believe that you would have sex with me on camera just to piss her off. Like, okay, let me not say that because I'm definitely down for some shit. Oh, if it wasn't as toxic as that, like, I would want to be on the end of, we're showing you a video of how happy we are now that we've moved the fuck on. Not, I'm the one that you're going to use to piss off the girl who you're, I would say, trying to impress, but that would be weird to put that in this situation. Or I meant in this part of the scenario. But I guess the whole scenario doesn't really look like he's trying to impress her. But then the part of me that's like, okay, because I know when I get to that point, and then it's like, okay, so he wasn't doing this to try to impress her, because who would be impressed with this? I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, like, he had the audacity to say that I give better head than her. And that hurt my feelings. One, because we talked about how important, like, the oral was for me, like how sacred it was for me. So for him to, like, bring that up and throw it in my face was kind of like fucked off, in my opinion. No matter how he said it, but still, as if I was her, but I'm not her, but if I were her, that's not going to impress me. Like, if I want to know whether you're sleeping with this girl or not, I'm not going to want to hear you say that she does anything better sexually, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe he didn't call to impress her, because I'm not going to want to hear that. I'm not going to want to hear that you're sleeping with 4 other girls. I'm not going to want you to tell her she's crying on the phone talking to another woman who I know that you've whatevered with. So there maybe isn't any, like, I want to impress you, right? That's on the logical side. But we're talking about somebody here who has already trapped this man. She told him the baby was his. He said he was getting a DNA test. She ends up calling the cops and getting charges pressed on him. He says that the accusation is not accurate, but he's already in the system. So he's already on probation. So when she did this, it got his probation revoked. So we're here, right? And so I'm like, okay, not only are you talking to her and you're in this fucking situation, it's like, do you like it in there? Because it seems like you like it in there. Like I already said, it seems like you're choosing to be trapped, in my opinion. And okay, I'm gonna say or potentially, but in my opinion, because if you're healing and doing what you're supposed to, there is a way to get untrapped. This woman doesn't have a hold on you for life. I got 2 kids, and both of my kids actually know who their dad is by a DNA test, both times. But they are nowhere to be found. Do you understand? Like, they're active in their kids' lives, but I'm saying in mine, no. So I just feel like if you wanted space, you could get it. It's like, anyways, so we're talking about this girl who has already pressed charges on you. So now you're kind of bound to her. Like, she's kind of holding you under her thumb. And then you have this baby. So you feel like you do have to kind of keep it, some type of light or whatever. I don't know. And that same person that would trap a man, would she be turned off by the fact that he's saying all this? No. I feel like him saying that I give better head was just a way for her to aim to try to continue to just be better. Like maybe things are going so good because you clearly have me, like, he didn't even block me this time. Like I said, we would go back and forth and block. Like, this nigga just ghosted me. So you left me where I still have access to you. He's never done that. He's even blocked me on Cash App before. So he doesn't have me blocked, but I don't even know why or what I started thinking about just then, but I don't want to get sidetracked. That person, what was I saying? So the girl that would do that is the same person who I feel like would hear, or if he knows that she's like that, he's like playing into her little mental game. Like, this is like some kind of, what do you call it? Before you have sex. What is it called? It's been so long since I've had sex. What is it called? When you foreplay, Jesus. It's like some kind of foreplay for them, right? And so if it's like this foreplay, then yeah, like, oh yeah, we do all these things. I do this to her. I do this to her. Like, just kind of listing stuff that mattered to me, right? Like, genuinely, like, shooting shots at me, y'all. She may not know that those other things were important to me, like, but they are. He knows they are. So it's like he said all of these things and like to hurt me. And then it's like she just hears like, okay, I need to work on my head game. Or maybe she's like, I need to give him head more, right? And so I'm like, okay, so you just use me for like some foreplay? Like, I can see her being turned on by that. Or I don't know. I guess in one way it's not like bad to be like, okay, I can do that, but it's still twisted. And if it is twisted like that, then like, I don't know, for me I feel like it proves that he's I don't know, tried to hurt me for sure. Like, I feel like he tried to hurt me. That's where I was in the story. But then it goes back to, so you essentially called me so that way she would know that we have nothing going on. And it's like, again, I haven't talked to this man in months. And it hurts because I feel like I was misled into thinking one thing, and I felt confident in that thing because of all the confirmations I was getting. But I don't know. What else was I gonna say? I mean, would she want to hear about him sleeping with 4 other girls? He didn't really use any comparisons of the other girls. In my opinion, you know, I'm like, I don't really think he's telling the truth about the other girls. You know? Like, I don't think he's sleeping with other girls. I think it's just her. And I don't know why he would say that to her. Like, what would be the purpose in telling her that there's multiple girls while you're calling me to, like, prove that you're not sleeping with me? You know? So, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to process that thought. I guess I was like, if I think that it's a lie, then maybe she thinks that it's a lie too. Or she knows that it's a lie as well. I don't know. I don't know if she knows that that's a lie. And it's like, what does that mean then? Like, why did you even make it a point to tell me that you're sleeping with her and multiple women? I guess, like I said, to hurt me. Yeah. And then he wants to hurt her too. So he tells her that there's multiple women while trying to prove to her that we're not talking. I don't know. Is it okay? So I guess process that and allow my crazy thoughts to take. So if he told her that, right? Not my crazy thoughts, but you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna try to process them out loud. So if he told her that just to piss her off, it means that he is trying to get a reaction out of her, maybe, and that he's trying to make her jealous, especially by saying that I give better head than her. You're trying to make her jealous, so you're trying to incite some type of emotion from her. I don't know why he told me, you know, which he did say on the phone that he's going to invite some girls over there. But I don't know why he told me on the phone that he was going to record it and send it to her because he can. Because I can. Like, when he said that, it reminds me of when we were in just like our dating stage, and I was asking him about a situation, and he's like, you know, that's my business, like, you know, stay out of my business, or I'd rather not talk about that. He didn't say like stay out of my business. He said I'd rather not talk about that, or, you know, that's something that I had going on before you, like, I'd like to figure that out first, and, you know, then whenever you are my girl, because he was saying, you're not my girl yet, when you are my girl, I'll answer those questions for you, and I'll do that or whatever. So, but anyways, that's how he used to talk to me. But there was a point where he was like frustrated about me asking him or talking to him about the fact that he was looking at other women or something, right? Like, uh, I asked him, like, we would be in full on conversation, and this lady walked by, and she did have a huge butt, right? And it's not even like that the woman was attractive or whatever else, that I didn't really even see the woman. I'm looking at him, talking to him. The woman is behind me, and he, like, kind of zoned out. I feel like he even leaned a little bit. And I was like, nigga, really? Like, your attention was just that quick? And then you went on. I was like, okay. So I took it in, whatever. And then we went somewhere else, and um, there was a woman sitting in this car. Now, granted, the car was it was a Challenger. It was this green Challenger with tinted windows. It was nice. I love a Challenger. He drives a Challenger. So he's staring over there at the car. I've already peeped that there's a woman in this driver's seat. I don't know what the hell he's seen, but as he's walking out, you're walking and you turn your head and you're staring the entire time over there at the car. Like, genuinely. You didn't just look over and come on, like, you stared over there. Like, there could have been like a 5-second conversation between the two of them in the way, like, the length of time. So when he gets in the car, I say something about it, and I'm like, I don't like that. And he's like, basically, we're not together. And I don't know. At some point, he told me I can. I don't know. But it was in somewhere in there with us not being together, he said that he could do whatever he wanted, I guess, or not really. That's not really, I don't know. I'm not really thinking, I can't really think of the time that he said that, because there wasn't really much space for him to say that he can do that to me. Actually, because even though we weren't dating exclusively, we still kind of were saying that we weren't messing with other people, like, pretty much since the beginning, because I was, just sexual health and spiritual health. Hello. So anyways, that was one of my requirements, was that if we were going to do things that we were doing, that I needed to know if there were other people that he was doing those things with for my safety. I didn't say that he needed to stop. I just said that we were going to practice better safety measures if he was going to be doing that. So even though he didn't want to tell me I was the only one, or maybe he didn't want to cut it off. I feel like he said it so quickly, I don't think that it was a matter of, I'm talking to multiple women, so I don't want to cut that off. But just in the event that he was doing that, though, he didn't make it seem like it was an issue. So regardless, him saying that, for me, it did kind of trigger like those thoughts a little bit. And it's like, I don't know, if you can sleep with these other girls, maybe, I don't know, because I don't think what I was about to say is where I was going to go with that. Because I was going to say, I don't think that, oh, sorry, I'm going to lay down. But I don't think that it was, maybe I shouldn't have laid down. Hold on. Okay. Ugh. All right, so I don't know what I was saying. I think this is why I keep looping around in my thoughts, because when I try to have a thought and like come to a conclusion like, yes, that has to be it, then I end up losing where the hell I was. And it's like, it's gonna hit me again in another way when I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, oh my God, he did that to please her. But I don't know, I guess as I'm sitting here talking about it, I am feeling like he didn't do it to please her, but at the same time, and you know, like, what does it mean to me if he didn't do it to please her? Because it's like he still said the things that he said, he still did the things that he fucking did. And I'm like, no, I gotta finish. I need to try to finish that thought so I can see, because I am having other thoughts about potentially what happened, but I don't know. I was gonna say, you know, that would mean that they are having sex, which for me, that would be a really, really big disrespect. And I feel like he's already told me that they had sex. Like, I don't feel like he called me to lie to me about it, you know? So it's like, yeah, you know, I gotta go with what he said. And you did tell me that y'all were having sex and y'all do it this many times a week, which is weird because why are you telling me how many times a week y'all have sex? But you can't, you know, you can't go into that because you don't know how people communicate. You know, maybe he was just being, he is very upfront and forward about things. So he could have been doing that. There is a possibility that he was saying shit to literally target my emotions, because he was saying things that hurt, but did they hurt because they were targeting me, or did they hurt because there are things that I didn't want to hear, you know? And so I'm not going to say that he was targeting my emotions, although, like I said, he did specifically point out things. He used all the things. The orgy was the first thing, in all honesty. At this point, he has used that so many times. Not so many times, let me not say that. We have had a conversation about that multiple times, to where I feel like it is a direct hit. But maybe he just never cared enough to listen, which is crazy because he's always showed me that he listens. Yo, and then what did he do? Turned around and used everything against me. I don't know. And then he told me, oh, you know how you've been texting me? She thinks that I've been responding to your text messages. I literally, like I said, he was saying things to target my emotions. Why though? Why would he intentionally target my emotions? To get me amped up. But he was like I said, like I had texted him a few times, and oh, that's what I was saying. So I had texted him a few times, and it's like during this separation, and I told myself that I needed to, before I text, I told myself that I had to be realistic with myself as far as what my expectations were. And I had to not have any expectations because I was, again, trying to respect a boundary that I thought he was drawing as he was getting himself together. So one of those texts that I had sent, or not one of those texts, all of those texts I had sent, none of them he responded to, except one time when I seen him out in public. And he didn't see me, and because of the fact that I was trying to respect his space, but also not really knowing what the situation is, because again, when he called me, he said, like, it was like he said all of my fears. Like, I was scared that he had ended back up with this woman, and I'll even go further. I was afraid that because of the trap that she has him in, that he was going to essentially have Stockholm syndrome. That's essentially what the fuck that would be. because from the way he's treated her this whole time, it hasn't been that he wants to be with her. I haven't seen that. Or maybe, hell, maybe he did. Maybe I misunderstood one of the conversations, but I don't think so. I don't know. Could it have been? No, hell no, because he brought me in under telling me that she was talking shit about me and that she doesn't like me and that she wasn't my friend. So, never mind. But yeah, like, I don't know. Anyway, so this man was attacking me from beginning to end of that conversation. I'm just now realizing that because it worked, because he hurt me. He did. He succeeded in working me up. He pushed all of my buttons. And why though? Why did you choose? And I asked him, I was like, why do I deserve to be told in this manner? Like, what did I do? Because I've been going to God about all of my problems and stuff. Like, that's who I go to. That's where this man told me to meet him at, y'all. That's where he told me to meet him. I thought that I met him. I don't know who I met up there. Whoever you are, I'm still out here. I'm still reaching out to God for you. Sorry, I had to do a little side note, that little prayer, because I'm sorry, babe, I got distracted more than once, apparently. But I'm still here. So, anyways, yeah, that man told me one thing, then y'all, it feels like being drug on the concrete, like, with somebody, like, holding my face down and going, I don't know, maybe 40 miles an hour. I feel like that's fast enough. Just 40. But, yeah, that man called me, amped me the fuck up, and said, yeah, she thinks I be. So I was like, okay, so you showed her our text messages? Like, why would you embarrass me like that? Like, what did I do to deserve that, you know? Like, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this was my first time ever trying to be vulnerable in love. Let me not say that. This is the first time where I was coming into love and like into a mature, like, mind state. It was I felt like my first adult relationship. And I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I am over the age of 30. I'm over the age of 32. So, this was my first attempt at something real. And like I said, I thought I had I didn't think I had all my T's crossed and my I's dotted when it comes to relationships, but I thought I had I thought that I had all the tools that I needed to begin one, be found, grounded in one, and that the lessons that I had to learn from here as far as preparing myself for a relationship would be learned in the union. And I only thought that because that's specifically what I prayed for. That's what I was praying for. That's what I was working on before I met this man. And there were moments in my prayers or in my conversations with God that I was like, there's a point in healing. There's a point in growth that there's things in growth, but there's points in as far as love and relationships is concerned that you get to where you cannot elevate unless you are in union. There are lessons that are learned once you come into union with your person. And I was aiming to be prepared for those types of lessons. That's what I feel like my purpose here on earth is. I feel like my purpose is tied into my union. And I feel confident in that, and I feel firm in that because that's the beginning of creation. God created man and woman, and their purpose was there. That's when all of life started. So I'm trying to achieve what God intended for me to achieve. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know why I started saying that, but I do know that's my belief. I don't remember if there was a point to that or not, but yeah. I mean, like I said, the more I don't know if I said this, but my thought was the more I sit here and talk about it, the more I don't necessarily feel as if he was trying to, like, do it to prove to her. Oh, well, I guess it's not a matter of if he was doing it to try to prove to her. My thing was, I guess if he's trying to prove to her that, then that means that you and her are like dating, like y'all got a thing going on. And yeah, I guess there's parts of me that's like, well, I guess if we think about it, that because that's a different thought, isn't it? So first thought is that he did it to prove to her that, or he did it to prove to her that me and him don't have anything going on. Then I take the idea that he did it so he could prove to me that we don't have shit going on at all either. And again, that could be a reason why he would elicit all of my feelings, is so that way, well, that's what I'm assuming he did that for. Like, you took all of my feelings and all the things that I've talked about matter to me and threw them all in my face because you want to prove to me that you don't give a shit about me. I mean, is that not logical? So if he did it to prove to her, and so I was saying, like, okay, it doesn't necessarily seem like he's trying to prove to her, but then it is like, no, there is a sense of him trying to prove it to her in a way, but it doesn't seem like it's in a romantic sense. But why doesn't it seem like it's in a romantic sense? Because he did most definitely tell me that they are sleeping together and that they do this and they do that. And again, I don't think that he was going to have an orgy. I don't even necessarily think he would have slept with me, to be honest. I think that he was just pissed off. And it almost sounded like he was fed up, or that he feels trapped. Talking about because he can, but he really can't. I'm not saying he can't. Maybe he could. I was just sitting here thinking that he can't, because if he did, then that would further take her into whatever she's in. And it's like, is he genuinely trying to get her out of it if he's still instigating little silly shit like her head is better than yours, or, you know, I'm sleeping with multiple women? It's like, is he really trying to get her head out of the thought? Or what is it? I don't know. Every time I go over there, I'm like, there's something over there. Like, when I mean that, I'm saying, like, mentally, every time I go over to that thought and I'm like thinking about that, I am not able to go to work. Damn it. sucks. But anyways, so sorry, I was checking on my car because my car's in the shop right now and I'm waiting to go pick it up so I can work today. But anyways, every time I go over there mentally and like I'm sitting kind of in that thought, I think it like feels like there's something there, you know? So it is I don't know, like it almost feels like, not almost, because I've already had this thought before, like because he's called me on three-way with her and then like the his ex, like his actual ex who he was living with when I met him, and then you know when she met him too, he was still living with her. uh Either way, but it like I felt it back then on that phone call, you know, that the issue between like this situation, which is weird because he's in the middle of it, is what it feels like. It feels like he's in the middle of it. Like, I didn't even mean to say it like that, but yeah, that's essentially what it is. Like, I felt like her problem is with me because, well, I guess since I'm here, the truth is we already have a common person. And so she feels like I've betrayed her before. And she doesn't feel like I betrayed her. She feels betrayed, and I was the tool that was used to betray her. Take that how you want to. And now we're here, and we were on that three-way call back then, and me and her ended up going back and forth in words. And this is our first time in years ever arguing. Everything was so, I thought, was copacetic. But it wasn't. Like, she does not like me for real, which he's the one who told me that, right? Like, that was how I got on the phone actually in that call, because he was telling me that she does not like me, that she does not fuck with me, like she's not your friend, like stop talking to her. So now we're here, and it's like, it almost feels like, again, like it's about me. Like, she doesn't even care if he's sleeping with other girls and all of that. Like, you're causing problems where I'm concerned. Like, you keep talking about me. So he calls and shows her that I'm not the problem. Like, I'm messing with multiple women and I'm doing all of this. Like, me and her are not messing around. Look, she's not here. See? I haven't talked to her. But anyways, he was like, she knows that I haven't been texting you. Or no, that's not what he said. He was like, you know how you've been texting me. She knows, she thinks that I've been texting you back. And so, obviously, again, I felt a little bit triggered there, because you have not been texting me back, but you did just acknowledge that you see these motherfucking text messages. But at the time when I heard it, I was hearing that he showed her the messages. And I don't know why I heard that, because if he was showing her the messages, then she would know that he hasn't been responding to the messages. So, I don't know. But I had to calm myself down, because I'm like, oh my God, he did this, you know. Anyways, as I sit here, I'm like, why are you like all in your head about the situation? And it is because it's a situation that happened to me, because it is my life. It really happened like this. So anyways, what have I decided? How am I ending this journal? All right, well, I have no idea. I feel like he was trying to calm her down. I question if he was trying to calm her down because he's like, babe, like there's nothing going on between us. Like, check this out. And then he calls me and treats me like shit, so that way, you know, I can be all hurt and bothered, because that kind of shit turns her on, because she has some secret vendetta against me. Not secret. It's just she didn't say anything about it until that three-way conversation, but she definitely feels like she called me a homewrecker. She called me like, I don't know what else. She's a homewrecker. She whatever she said. I don't care what that woman said. Okay, I do not care. I'm not a homewrecker. It wasn't even a home when I was over there. So, but she said all of that, those things, and like I said, it seemed like it was about me. And then now we're here, and it seems like it's about me yet again. And so it's like, did he do it for romantic? And he's trying to like calm her down, like, babe, 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 look, like, this is how I treat her, like, she's nothing to me. You know, and then it's like, what did I just say? Because I'm like, did I have that thought already? Jesus, I was going to try to close this out, but I'm 2 minutes later. Okay, let me think. All right, so the questions of what was he like, I guess because it doesn't look like he was trying to shut me out for like her emotions, like for the stability of them, because he kept throwing wrenches into the machine. So it's like, it's not about the stability of them. Then it's like, it makes, because of that, I guess, because that's what I was worried about. Then the question is, if not that, then why? You know, why is it that you decided to go this route? And because it's like, well, why did you go this route? Like, why is it that you're trying to please her? If not to try to solidify y'all's connection, then what is that other reason for trying to please her? And for me, I'm thinking that there's an underlying reason, and I have an idea, which I've already stated could be that reason, which is you're just trying to keep things peaceful, trying to keep things just copacetic. So this is where we are, right? So okay, that makes me feel better. I like that it's not for a romantic sense. I think that's part of the reason, not part of the reason, well, it had to be part of the reason, because I do feel a little bit relieved. But this is only day 2. It's still morning. Like, I don't know if you can hear the birds. I've had my window open for a few days now. And I haven't closed it, even though I feel like my electricity bill is going to be high. Oh, I feel like my bill's gonna be high, but I want so bad to like just open the windows in the house. I love the way it smells. Anyways, so today I'm grateful for my heart. I'm grateful for my happiness. I'm grateful for the healing and the growing that I have done thus far, for my mental to be able to develop and process the things that it does in a more mature way than it ever has before. I thank God for the patience and the grace that I have so elegantly been working on. I do fall short at times, but I'm still consistently moving forward. I was gonna say I'm not perfect, but I'm not a perfect person. But the truth is, I'm like, I am perfect. What do you mean? I am perfect just the way that I am. Like, how am I not perfect? I may not be perfect for you. I may not be your vision of perfect, but I'm perfect for me. And I thank God that I even have that type of self-love. And I thank God for the journey of falling in love with myself. This has been a journey in itself, because even though I sat here on day 2 and I feel like, I still feel sad, like I feel affected. again, I didn't just have like plans or expectations. Like, I've talked to this man about what it is that I wanted. Like, I mean, no, we didn't sit down and just have like a whole conversation. Like, do you want to get married? Well, yeah, I want to get married to you. And then, you know, I want to have your baby. Or I don't know. I don't know how to have the conversation. Again, this was my first time. All I'm saying to you is I told this man from the day that I met him what it is that I wanted and expected in a relationship. He has come forth and confirmed that he heard those words and was trying to be those things, or, you know, whatever. Then, because I saw those things in him and those steps in him, and we had those just conversations, I decided that the idea of accidentally getting pregnant by him wasn't such a bad thing. Whereas when I first got with him, I was like, oh my God, no. Right. And then it became, okay, so I actually wouldn't be offended by him. And so then it's like, I might kind of like this guy a little bit. So when I decided that I liked the guy a little bit, I decided that it was, I was seeing if he fit the vision that I had for myself. Did he fit into it? I genuinely don't even think I started looking. I think that I started recognizing. I saw him fulfill things that needed to be fulfilled, and I processed how I was feeling with him filling shoes that I told you I was preparing for. I've been preparing for union, so I prepared a space for another person. Did not know how the space was looking over there, but he came in and decided that he was going to build onto the framework that I had discussed with God. So, I essentially told him that I saw him in those shoes. And we talked about, you know, like, I told him the kind of house that I wanted, and I was just talking to him, you know, just saying, like, this is what I want. Like, I was telling, like I said, I tell him my vision, and I told him my vision, and he came back days later and told me that he was working on making that vision come true for me, or for us, but he didn't say it like that, like all dreamy like that. Well, kinda, it was dreamy to me, so I feel like if I say it, it's still gonna be the same. But he came back like days later, and he was like, I gotta go to work, or I gotta do something. He was like, so I can buy that land and build that house that you want. And I was like, I could bite you. Anyways, but that's not what I said. I ended up just saying, you know, I think I smiled. I think so. Maybe he heard the scream like telepathically, but I was like, man, I didn't even, like, sometimes I don't think that you're listening to me, because sometimes he doesn't respond, like, he doesn't say things. And I'm like, so sometimes I think you're not listening to me, but and you come back and you'll like talk about it like it's been on your mind, you know? So anywho, this is the beginning of day 2. I've got thoughts off my mind right now. We will see how I feel later, because I will be coming back if I do not make it through this day without having another moment. So I don't know how I want to end these, but is this a safe space?